Okay, we've completed the previous video to this, showed the manual settings that have to be done on this system. Now we're going to show the electronic settings that you can do manually. Now, what you can see right here, first of all, if you're going to be running it offline, you want to put it, the green light there where the hand is, and you just pull that button down and it changes. And then you push the button again, it'll beep, and then it'll prepare the trimmer, make sure it clear any sheets that might be in there, and then it starts running. And now at this point, you can start inserting your sets. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to show you the buttons that are used for manual setup. Now let's just say you've got an 11x17 job. It's already pre-programmed for 11x17, but for some reason, you know, your paper's a little wider than it should be, a little longer than it should be. You can manually change the settings from the automatic mode by using these buttons. All you have to do is push one of these buttons down and hold it for a second, and it'll light up all the lights here so that you can actually set another program. Now you may not want to do that on a permanent basis. You may just want to make a temporary change, and if you do, then the book explains how you do that. If you push the memory key now, it makes it a permanent change for that size. So if you have a set here at LD 11x17 and you make a permanent change and you memorize it, then it'll stay that way, you know, until you change it again. But if you want to change it just for that booklet run because the paper's a little wider, or because you're trying to trim on the bleed or something like that, then you can make those changes. This is your step mode, and what that does, it allows you to insert a booklet, kind of, you know, visually see where everything is. You can see where the jogger is, you can see where the back jog is, the back stopper, and the staple and all that ahead of time before you start running the job. And it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea ahead of time of what everything's going to look like. Now over on the trimmer, you have a manual setting for your trim position. This button here pushes the stop that way, which, you know, trims more off your book. This one pushes the stop to the left, which gives you, you know, trims less. So if you have a situation where you're trimming a booklet and, you know, you're trimming off some letters, or you're not quite trimming to the bleed, well, you can make your manual adjustments here on the trimmer. So that basically covers all the manual settings. Now automatic mode, you've got your major standard settings. You've got A3, 17, 14, and 11. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change over to letter size. Now you have to hold the button down for a second. Okay, now it goes back to home, and then comes back down. Okay, that quickly, just a few seconds. Now you're ready to run 8.5 by 11. You can see where your indicator on your trimmer now is A4, 11 inch. Your Bookletmaker's at LT letter, and then you've got other memory modes that you can use. You can set up for, you know, jobs that you run frequently. If you run an 8.5 by 14 frequently, or, you know, 11.5 by 17.5, or whatever, you can program those extra programs, M1, M2, M3, and M4 for those sizes. Now, the step mode, this one here, this button here, when you can select fold and trim or just fold. If you select just fold, it'll bypass the stitch mode. It'll still jog it, but then it'll advance to the folder and fold without a staple. If you if you want to in-stitch, you can in-stitch here. Letter size, it basically staples on the end instead of in the middle like saddle. And up here, of course, is all of these settings are your saddle adjustment on saddle. Now, because this one has a trimmer, I don't recommend doing in-stitching, because you have to remove the trimmer to do the in-stitching, and that's something that I don't think you really want to do. It's a major job, and the set has to be removed, and has a delivery tray that has to be put underneath at the bottom of the stitch fold. So that's usually when people put trimmers on these things, that's usually something that you know, nobody does. But anyway, it has that feature, and that's what those buttons are for. Now this button here is just to select trim or no trim. Okay, green means you're trimming. Light's not on, you're not trimming. Now, when you see the red light, what that tells you is that your trimmer's not ready to run. So what you do is you push your manual run button, you'll hear the beep, and then leave it alone. It'll automatically, now what it's going to do is going through the procedure of clearing the trimmer, and now it starts to run. Now as you can see, you got a green light on your ready, not ready. Not ready is red, ready is green. So your machine's running, everything's ready to roll. You're ready to start feeding booklets, okay? Now you can't change anything while it's running. You can't change size, you can't adjust, you gotta stop it and wait till the trimmer clears and drops down, and then you're ready to start changing the size or changing any of the features. So now next we're gonna change over to 11 by 17. Again, you can see everything moving to home. And the trimmer as well. Got a little bit of glare from the lights on the covers. Okay, so now it's set for 11 by 17. I mean, you can't get any faster than that. And then of course the only thing you have to do manually for 11 by 17 is just move the wheels. So, you know, of course you have to remove your folding cartridge here, your folding transfer cartridge, in order to make adjustments for like thinner or thicker booklets. That's something you have to do inside here. Can't do it from the outside. And of course your stitch heads, if you're going to change the stitch head position, as we mentioned in one of the earlier videos, you have to move those. Okay, so now you're ready to run. And next we're going to do some, you know, demo videos showing the machine running. We're going to run 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17. Thank you very much.